going to dance the dance again with the belt right back on the line. Moloney working the jab here, trying to keep that range.
Watch your head.
There's already some swelling on the right eye of Franco.
Due to an accidental headbutt and the bout not going 4 rounds, this bout is declared a no decision. Franco retains his WBA Super Flyweight World Championship.
Superfly's ready to go here. WBA belts on the line. Franco does damage to Moloney.
This is a seasoned professional boxer with great skills.
Beautiful right hand.
And the champ gets to him. Just like that. That
is it. It's over. This weekend, August the 14th at 10 p.m. Eastern on regular ESPN, you're going to have Joshua Franco taking on Andrew Moloney 3 for, I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. Going forward, I am no longer going to be recognizing the WBA interim belt and the WBA regular belt. So I guess you can consider this the last fight where it's actually going to be even pretty much mentioned as a belt on my channel, because I'm going to do my best to not mention it. But as it stands right now, August the 14th at 10 p.m. on ESPN. What's the broadcast information over in Australia, Big J?
Main event August 15th. We got kickoff time of 12 p.m.
Perfect. So here's how the card is right now. And I'm going to put the rest of the information down below in the description box, because Top Rank released a press release about less than a week ago with some more names being added. But this is according to BoxRec. So, of course, you're going to have Joshua Franco versus Andrew Moloney 3 for that WBA world title. Don't get me started. Arnold Barboza versus Antonio Moran. Arnold Barboza, very highly ranked by the WBO at 140 pounds. Fringe contender, very good fighter. Somebody to watch and look out for to possibly be champion, maybe unify in the 140-pound division after Josh Taylor moves up, because I don't think they'll ever meet each other. And then you have the brother Jason Moloney taking on Joshua Greer for the WBC silver title to basically get them, a high ranking. I'm TstreeT Controversy with Fight View 360 with my colleague Big J. Let's jump right into it. I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm going to go with Andrew Moloney to close this out and finally, close this chapter on the rubber match. Your thoughts on the fight?
Absolutely the same thing. I think that Andrew proved that even the first fight, Andrew made it to the final bell. Andrew could take, someone said this, I saw a video, Andrew could take the best Franco, but Franco couldn't deal with the best Moloney.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a fair statement. Andrew caught him off guard, rushed him from the opening bell in the second fight, closed his eye in the second fight, and there was no doubt that that was caused by a punch, no headbutt, complete bullshit, and the biggest robbery, pretty much ever for an Aussie. It's worse than Fenwick Nelson number 1. There's no doubt about that. So Andrew's got Franco's number, and pretty much everyone in the world knows it. So that's the way I'm going. I think Andrew's going to get him, again, I don't think it's going to be an easy fight as the second one, because I think Franco's going to be ready for it. But I think that Andrew's got Franco's number. So,
and
Moloney for the win.
And here are the champions in the division, if you don't know. When we just talked, hold on, let me go back down. We just talked about how there's certain divisions that is too much politics going on, and too many promotional entities that are stopping all of the champions. All of the guys, pretty much the champions, from fighting each other and unifying. So, for example, here are the champions: Juan Francisco Estrada, WBA and WBC champion, WBA Super. He has the WBA belt at 115 pounds. He is with Matchroom Eddie Hearn. He's going to be taking on Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez. I believe that fight is slated for October to close that out in Franklin. The loser may even retire, German Cajas is over on PBC now. He was originally a top-ranked fighter up until a year and a half ago. He's under Manny Pacquiao Promotions, and MP Promotions fighters managed and, handled by Sean Gibbons. Guys like him, and of course Manny Pacquiao taking on Errol Spence, and damn, I'm forgetting his name, John Rio Casimiro, who's taking on Rigondeaux next week. They're all on the PBC side. And then you have Kazuda Ioka, who really fighters normally from there, Japanese fighters under that promotion, work normally with Top Rank and not so much with PBC or Matchroom. Not saying that it wouldn't happen. So Franco here, as you can see, we have the rankings pulled up, is the WBA world champion taking on WBA ranked number 3, Andrew Moloney. Now, you got a chance to talk to Andrew Moloney. That interview is right here on the channel, by the way, last week. And what is his goal for the division? Like, who's he targeting?
His ultimate goal is to follow in the steps of the great Victor Chinian and unify the division. So that's going to be his next step. He's going to be looking after unification bouts. He'd like to go after probably Estrada or like Haas, or who's the WBO champ?
Ioka,
whoever he could lay his hands on.
Because here's the thing.
So, yeah.
If he wins, right, he'll be the WBA regular champion, but that belt is not really respected. And you got to think that he's going to have to drop that belt to be able to fight an Cajas, Ioka, or an Estrada, because, it's a shame that, with these belts, they make things so confusing. But in my personal opinion, I don't see how he, if Estrada or Chocolatito win, maybe they move up, maybe they stay there, and maybe if Andrew Moloney wins, he can be elevated to super champion. But I'm going to go ahead and be realistic. It's hard for me to see him against guys like that, because of the political, stuff involved. And frankly, Andrew Moloney, unless it's in Australia, doesn't really bring in a lot of money. So I understand Top Rank's trying to build them up over here, but he also mentioned Carlos Calderas, who is floating around between promotional groups, and I think that would be a good fight for him. So 115 pounds overall has some very, very good names, credible names, like, for example, Rung Visai is still there, Carlos Quadra still there, Donny Nietes is back, Francisco Rodriguez. These are just names that I know. Sho Ishida, Charlie Edwards, Kyle Yafai, Kosi Tanaka. But where he is right now, it's not going to be an easy road to a full title fight. So, in my opinion, do you feel, do you feel that he has what it takes to be a unified champion?
He has to prove that in the ring. It's as simple as that. Does he have to take, it's like everything. If he's got the talent, he's got the discipline, yeah, sure. But he has to prove it in the ring. So I'm not really going to say either way whether I believe whether he can do it. Because with the first Franco fight, he got belted from pillar to post. So he does have weaknesses, but he's worked on those. He has to prove it in the ring. Potentially he could, but, with all the talent that's out there and so many promotions and so much, political BS that goes, especially for Aussies, it's going to be, as you said, it's going to be extremely hard for him to get those fights because he's with Top Rank, and being an Aussie, he doesn't really have any real fan base here, to be perfectly honest. I mean, the only time he's fought in Australia is when him and his brother have fought clubhouse shows at the Twin Heads Seagulls, football club, which is just over the border in New South Wales, in northern New South Wales. So it's not like he's fought in, he had that, him and his brother had that fight, was it Barry Hall, Paul Gallen, and they weren't even billed as the main event. So, and that was almost 2 years ago now. So the Maloneys are better off fighting in the States because they've got more of a name, not more for a fan base, more of a name following over there than they do in Australia, which is, as I said, the Australian fighters are very hard. You either stay home and make no money, and, get big and no one cares, or you go overseas and no one cares who you are. So it's a catch-22. Yeah. But can he become ununified? I don't. It's hard to. He has to prove in the ring. And remember, those boys are almost 30 now. So 30, time's running out for those.
They're listed at 30.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, they're 30. So time's running out too. So.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about. Let's go ahead and talk about Jason then. Jason Moloney, 21-2 with 18 KOs, the first Moloney brother I was ever aware of and covered in the World Boxing Super Series several years ago when he fought Manny Rodriguez in a very, very good fight. He's taking on Joshua Greer, 22-2-2 with 12 KOs. So Moloney's last fight, Jason Moloney's, was against Naoya Inoue in October of 2000 and October last year, 2020, where he was stopped in round 7. Many predicted that it was going to happen, that he didn't have a chance. But coming off of that, he was coming off of a 4-fight winning streak where he had stoppages or knockouts in all 4 after losing to Manny Rodriguez in 2020. In 2018, October, in the World Boxing Super Series. Joshua Greer last fight was against Edwin Rodriguez, in which there was a majority draw. Before that, he lost to a Mike Planea. And basically, before that, I was never really high on Joshua Greer. And I'm going to call this a 50-50 fight. What's your thoughts on Jason Moloney versus Joshua Greer? Or Jason Moloney overall as a fighter?
I think Jason, it's a bit hard because this could be like his Inoue fight could be the jumping the shark moment. Like, you know, it could be, okay, that was his biggest thing, and it might be all downhill from here. But I think he can beat Greer pretty easily because Greer, you know, had that upset loss. He's had a draw. So, and, you know, Jason did have the big loss from Inoue. But before that, he was on all sorts of, you know, he was going really well. So I would be favouring probably 60-40 in favour of Jason. It's just because Joshua had that upset and then he had that draw. So it's really, I mean, yes, he got knocked out by Inoue, but he also went 7 rounds with the best, you know, bantamweight in the world. A lot longer than Matty Rodriguez lasted 2 rounds. Jason lasted 7. So
yeah, I think that you know, you never know what Joshua Greer is going to show up. You know what I've learned from
that's a dangerous. That's a dangerous fighter. You never know who's going to show up.
Yeah, you never know which one is going to show up. The one that's going to, you know, bring out the pillow that says "Don't blink," meaning he brings out a pillow to his weigh-ins. You know, basically saying he's going to put you to sleep. To the one that just looks lackluster out there. And, you know, I'm going to say that I'm giving this, listen, I'm going to give it a 50-50, but, you know, I'm leaning more towards Andrew to win as well, to be able to outbox.
Jason.
But one thing, I mean, yeah, Jason to win as well. But he's going to have to make sure he doesn't, even though Joshua's listed with only 12 KOs, he's going to make sure, you know, Jason's got to make sure that he doesn't stay in the pocket too long. Just box and move.
Yeah, but remember, Jason's got those ferocious body shots, and that's the difference in a lot of fights. He's a ferocious body puncher. So, you know, and a lot of Australians are figuring out that the body's the way to go.
Yeah.
I think thanks to, we'll give Tim Tszyu credit, he's a ferocious body puncher, and everyone else is catching on. They're like, go to the body. It's just like with Ebony this morning. She went to the body, head, boom, uppercut, all over. So the Aussies are starting to figure that out. I think the entire scope of Aussie boxing is like, we got to start going to the body again.
Yeah.
So I feel there's a bit of a trend across Australian boxing. It's just, you know, everyone's starting to realise, go for the body, the head will fall apart. What's the old saying? Take the body, the head will fall apart, or whatever it is. So, yep. So I feel Jason will get him with body shots, leave his head open, boom, uppercut, all over. So I think Jason will get him with body shots. They'll break him down.
Well, my closing thoughts before I let Big J wrap it up is, what I believe is tomorrow, if not tomorrow, Tuesday, the fighters are having a media Zoom call, which I'm going to be streaming and get some questions in with the fighters. We're also going to be here doing a post-fight video on the fighters, and if they have a post-fight press conference, we'll likely be uploading that. We'll definitely be here for the final press conference and or the weigh-in. So this is a big card for Top Rank, and frankly, this is a card for both Andrew and Jason. They gotta perform, you know, because this is another card where Top Rank is actually putting them, you know, in the forefront, you know, promoting them as they said they would when they brought them over here to the States. So it's a must win for both of them, or, you know, just as you see, Jason is getting the undercard, you know, treatment, then both of these Moloneys are going to become undercard, mid-card fighters if they don't get, you know, wins on Top Rank this August the 14th, Saturday. Closing thoughts?
Well, basically, you pretty much wrapped it up. I mean, Andrew, for the win, I think Andrew's going to go head hunting like he did in the first fight. Jason's going to go to the body. Yeah, I think both guys should get, I wouldn't say comfortable wins, but they'll get the tick in the box and on to bigger and better things. So with Jason, if he beats Greer, he'll be, number 4 again in the WBO? Because he was the number 1 contender at WBO this time last year before he fought Inoue.
Yeah.
And he was supposed to fight Casemiro, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Casemiro, the WBO champ, 118? Yeah. Yeah, so Jason might be in that title fight mix again, but with his age, if he gets another one, it'll most likely be his last one. So, but then again, old mate, who Estrada won at 38 or something, didn't he? Wasn't it 38 when he won?
Who?
Was that Estrada just won the, who won, was that Estrada that won the 118 at 38? How old's Estrada?
No, I don't
Was
even
that
know.
Donaire?
He's not 38 though. I know that for sure.
Okay, yeah, there was an older fighter that just won a couple of months ago at WBC and was an upset. Who was that? Was it Anito Donaire? No.
Donaire, well, yeah, Donaire,
Okay.
yes. Donaire had won about a few months ago at 38. Yes, the WBC title.
That's it.
At 118.
Yeah, what I think, yeah, there you go, Nito Donaire.
Yeah,
so it
so
can be
here's the
done.
champions at 118. Just to say, Donaire is the WBC, and Inoue is the WBA Super and IBF. John Real Casemiro is the WBO. Joshua Greer, currently by the WBO, is ranked number 5. As it stands right now, Jason Moloney is ranked by the IBF at number 10, and he is not, and the WBA at number 9. The seven by the WBC, but however, he is not surprisingly ranked by the WBO, but he is fighting number 5 ranked WBO Joshua Greer. So I'm guessing he's trying to beat him to take his spot in those rankings to get back in the top 5. So also the question I didn't ask before we wrap up, I think it's a good time if both fighters were to win with COVID restrictions lifting over there in Australia. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, I guess it's a good time if both fighters win for some time, maybe early to mid 2022 for the Maloneys to have their homecoming on the same card in Australia.
Or they could jump on the Super Series, the Magic Round that they're going to do in November.
Nah, Top
That could
Rank ain't
happen.
doing that. You know they ain't doing that shit. Like Top Rank
Yeah,
is
it was worth
invested and
it.
signed them.
It was worth a shot.
Yeah, but I don't think, nah, they ain't. Top Rank wouldn't dare.
Yeah.
Like they just signed them to give them. I don't see that happening.
It'd be worth a shot. Yeah, they will. 2022 because COVID. New South Wales, don't even mention that. They're in a real bad case of the way, but the rest of the states aren't doing too badly. But there's still restrictions and stuff. So probably by what's it now? August. Probably by in 3 months when we're hitting summer again, it'll probably all start to fizzle out and everything will be okay. So probably February, March next year would be the way to go if the Top Rank want to get them over here before another winter comes around and things turn bad again. So
Yeah.
excuse me.
All right. Well, please take your time out. Like the video, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at TstreeT Contra, and your Twitter handle, Big J.
Old mate Big J, and shout out to Andrew Maloney for talking to us to the channel. Really appreciate that, mate. Good on him. We appreciate his time, but yeah, he's going to smack Franco around again. I'm looking forward to it. So.
Yeah, we'll see, because he's in a must-win situation, not Joshua Franco. Take your time out. Please like the video, subscribe. We'll see you next week.